Medieval warfare. Medieval warfare, spanning roughly from the 5th to the 15th century, was a tumultuous era marked by constant conflicts and territorial struggles. It is a period often romanticized in popular culture for its chivalry, knights, and castles, but behind the facade of nobility and honor lay brutal and relentless warfare. Today we dive into the multifaceted aspects of medieval warfare, examining the strategies, tactics, evolution of battle, and the social, political, and economic factors that shaped this significant epoch in history. The early medieval period was characterized by tribal conflicts, hasty formations, and limited military technology. However, as societies and kingdoms progressed, so did the art of warfare. Feudalism, which was prevalent during the medieval era, heavily influenced the way wars were fought. Lords and nobles provided military service to their king in exchange for land, creating a system of vassalage that fueled the medieval armies. The feudal system not only ensured a steady supply of troops, but also promoted loyalty and allegiance to a lord or liege. As the medieval period progressed, the nature of warfare evolved. The influence of the Roman Empire left a lasting impact on military organization and tactics. Additionally, the emergence of the medieval knight as a dominant figure on the battlefield was a significant shift in warfare. Knights were the epitome of chivalry, expected to uphold a strict code of conduct, which included traits such as bravery, courtesy, and respect for women. Medieval armies consisted of a diverse range of soldiers, each playing a unique role on the battlefield. Knights, the elite warriors of the time, were heavily armored and fought on horseback, embodying the chivalric ideals of bravery and valor. They were trained from a young age in the arts of war, including horsemanship, swordsmanship, and jousting. The knight's armor, made of steel plates, provided unparalleled protection, but also made them slow and susceptible to exhaustion. Foot soldiers, such as infantry and archers, formed the bulk of the armies and were instrumental in engaging the enemy in close combat or from a distance. Infantry soldiers were well trained and equipped with a variety of weapons, such as spears, swords, and axes. Archers, on the other hand, played a crucial role in softening the enemy's defenses before the infantry and knights engaged in close combat. The English longbow, in particular, became renowned for its power and accuracy, notably in battles like Agincourt. Siege warfare was another crucial aspect of medieval battles. Castles and fortified cities were challenging to conquer directly, leading to prolonged sieges. Specialized troops, such as sappers and miners, utilized siege engines and tactics to breach fortified walls and undermine the enemy's defenses. Siege warfare demanded careful planning and engineering expertise, and it often led to long and arduous campaigns. Medieval warfare saw a plethora of strategies and tactics employed on the battlefield. One of the most commonly used formations was the shield wall, where infantry units stood shoulder to shoulder, presenting a formidable barrier against the enemy. The shield wall was especially effective against cavalry charges, as it negated the momentum of the charging knights. Knights used the charge tactic, relying on the momentum of their cavalry to break enemy lines. A well-executed charge could instill fear in the enemy ranks and create openings for the infantry to exploit. However, a poorly timed charge or unfavorable terrain could render the knights vulnerable to counterattacks. On the other hand, archers played a crucial role in softening the enemy's defenses before the infantry and knights engaged in close combat. Skilled archers could rain arrows upon the enemy from a safe distance, weakening their ranks and morale. The successful use of archers in battles like Crécy and Poitiers demonstrated the significance of tactics and superior archery in medieval warfare. Fortifications played a vital role in medieval warfare, with castles and citadels acting as centers of power and defense. These strongholds were strategically built to withstand sieges and repel invading forces. Castles not only served as military bases, but also as administrative centers and symbols of authority, reflecting the hierarchical nature of medieval societies. The design and architecture of castles evolved over the centuries, adapting to the changing nature of warfare and siege tactics. Early medieval castles were often simple wooden structures atop mounds, but they later evolved into sophisticated stone fortresses with high walls, moats, drawbridges, and defensive towers. The layout and features of castles varied based on the region and the specific threats they faced, showcasing the ingenuity of medieval engineers and architects. The evolution of medieval warfare was significantly influenced by technological advancements. The development of plate armor revolutionized the concept of personal protection for knights. By the 14th and 15th centuries, knights wore full suits of plate armor, rendering them nearly invulnerable to traditional weapons like arrows and swords. However, the expense of these armors limited their availability to the wealthiest knights and nobles. Longbows and crossbows also emerged as powerful ranged weapons during this era. English and Welsh longbowmen were particularly feared for their accuracy and rate of fire. These archers could rain down volleys of arrows, causing mass casualties and disrupting enemy formations. Crossbows, while slower to reload than longbows, required less training and strength to use effectively. The advent of the crossbow democratized ranged warfare, allowing less skilled soldiers to become proficient ranged combatants. Furthermore, advancements in metallurgy improved the quality and durability of weapons and armor. Swords, axes, and spears were forged with higher quality steel, increasing their effectiveness and longevity. This technological progress influenced the dynamics of medieval warfare and altered the balance of power on the battlefield. Religion played a central role in medieval warfare, with religious fervor often used as a motivator for soldiers and armies. The Crusades, a series of religiously inspired military campaigns launched by Christian forces, exemplified the fusion of faith and warfare. The Crusades aimed to reclaim the Holy Land from Muslim control, and they had profound political, economic, and social consequences for both the Western and Eastern worlds. The religious zeal that fueled the Crusades was not limited to these campaigns alone. Throughout the medieval period, religious leaders and monarchs often sought to justify wars and conquests as holy endeavors blessed by God. This intertwining of religion and warfare had significant implications, shaping the mindset of soldiers and affecting the conduct of war. Throughout the medieval period, numerous battles defined the course of history and the rise and fall of empires. The Battle of Hastings in 1066 marked the conquest of England by William the Conqueror and the beginning of Norman rule. This battle showcased the importance of strategy, positioning, and discipline as the Normans overcame the English forces. The Battle of Agincourt in 1415 is another iconic battle that left a lasting impact on the perception of medieval warfare. During this battle, the English under King Henry V achieved a remarkable victory against the larger French army. The successful deployment of longbowmen and the tactical positioning of the English forces led to a decisive victory, demonstrating the significance of tactics and superior archery in medieval warfare. In addition to battles, notable leaders such as Joan of Arc and Richard the Lionheart left an indelible mark on the annals of medieval warfare. Joan of Arc, a young French peasant girl, played a pivotal role in the 100 Years' War. Her military leadership and religious fervor inspired the French troops and turned the tide in favor of the French during the Siege of Orléans. Richard the Lionheart, King of England, was renowned for his prowess in battle and his valor during the Crusades. His military exploits earned him a legendary status among knights and warriors of the era. The end of the medieval era saw the rise of centralized states, a shift from feudalism to mercenary armies, and the integration of gunpowder and firearms into warfare. The legacy of medieval warfare extended beyond the battlefield, influencing the social, political, and economic landscapes of subsequent eras. The centralization of power brought about by the decline of feudalism led to the creation of standing armies loyal to kings and emperors. This marked a departure from the reliance on vassals and feudal levies for military service. The rise of mercenary armies also played a significant role in post-medieval warfare, as mercenaries provided a professional fighting force for hire. The introduction of gunpowder and firearms during the late medieval and early modern periods forever altered the nature of warfare. Cannons and firearms gradually replaced traditional siege engines, making fortifications vulnerable to long-range attacks. The evolution of artillery and firearms laid the groundwork for modern warfare and the development of armies and tactics we see today. Understanding this fascinating period of history provides insight into the development of warfare and its enduring impact on civilization. The legacy of medieval warfare, from the feudal system to the rise of gunpowder, laid the foundations for the modern military practices and institutions we see today. As we explore the evolution of medieval warfare, we gain a deeper understanding of the complexities of human conflict and the profound influence it has had on shaping the course of human history.